Yo, what's going on YouTube? Zach the Pokemaster here, and today I'm doing a ranking video. No, it's not a tier list because that's for 2022 or 23, so yeah, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer for that. But today I would like to rank each Pokemon series from worst to best. And yeah, I'd like to hear some of your guys' down in the comments too, but for now, I just want to rank every Pokemon series from how good from they performed and how badly they did. And yeah, like I said, I'd like to hear some of your guys' down in the comments below. With that being said, let's begin with the video. Oh boy, I am about to be hated by massive fans. And, oh boy, sorry guys, the XY series is just the worst series out of all the Pokemon series. And man, let me just get rid of all the major problems out of the way. The characters, the filler, the development, the Pokemon teams, Team Rocket, the evil team arc, or Ninja. There's so many things wrong with the XY series. And I get through what they were trying to do. It was trying to be the second uprising, or probably the third uprising of the Pokemon anime, but it just failed to be like it. Now, I will give it for some good characters like Sawyer, and some decent story from the beginning. And what do I mean by the beginning? Well, the first few episodes, the XY was actually not that bad. It's just hit until we get, I think after Clement's Gym, it's just when the series is just horrible. Like, not all of it was just bad, but most of it is just horrifying to watch. Also, some of the fillers suck, and oh boy, before we get into more major details, I'd just like to say, Ash Ketchum was just plain out boring in XY. I mean, the dude was just plain out boring. There's really nothing lovable about him. It was just, how should I put this into words? More like, let's take Kirito from Sword Art Online and another boring character. Now, who's the most boring character out of all animes? Who could it possibly be? Nah, I'm sorry, I can think of the other one. Maybe Yamcha? Yeah, we'll go with Kiba. But let's take those two together. You got some boring shonen protagonist that no one cares about. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically Ash Ketchum and Collis in a nutshell. Not to mention that he has the worst percentage out of all of his counterparts. The worst percentage, which means he was at his lowest for battles. Which is really sad because Johto and Univas hired him and people consider his teams to be the worst. Oh yeah, team diversity. Did the man really need to have 3 flying types? Oh boy, what else did he have? 2 dragon types? Yeah, talk about team balance. And if I had to change 2 Pokemon out, I would be glad to replace Hawlucha with Skidoo, that one with the Go-Go, and Gudra with Spritzy, which was also a Rob catcher in episode 1 of XY. Oh boy, do I really want to go through all of this? Yes I do. Now let's move over to Team Rocket. What did they do again? Wait, what did James and Meowth do again? Because the only thing I remember, Jesse did, what was the thing called? Showcases? Huh. It really isn't, isn't just Showcases just a ripoff of contests and much horrifying? Whoever thought Showcases were a good idea, please go look at Contest in Diamond and Pearl, because they did it better. Even look at Hoenn. Even Hoenn did their contest better. And the next person you think of Showcases in the Pokemon anime again, please fire that man or that person. It was just plain out awful. We got that out of the way? Okay, good. Now let's move on to their team. And oh boy, the Team Rocket was their team done dirty. Sure, the only Pokemon that did manage to evolve was Punkaboo and Volunteer Gorgeist, but that's basically it. And I don't count Meowth or Wobbuffet because they're like the main, how should I put, like the main 4. So to only have 2 Pokemon captured, this is really sad and boring. Plus all the, now that we're done with Team Rocket, let's move on to the next part, the gym battles. And really, it was just, most of them were just too predictable. And from the get-go, there were some good gym battles, but also there was really, really bad ones. And yeah, I think I don't want to go more into Kalos, but that should go for the next Pokemon video. Ranking or doing a retrospective of every Pokemon series. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. But right now, we're going to hold off for Kalos, and I deemed it as the worst series. Sorry that I couldn't finish this, but yeah, we'll finish this discussion later when I get more help. So, and oh man, I'm about to get even more hate from this. I am sorry to you all. But hey, at least we can all say it's kind of better. But I'm sorry to all Kanto fans. I am terribly sorry. Kanto was just not a good series. At least we got the theme song. That's the only thing we got out of it. And Charizard. And Pikachu. And Brock's one-liners. And Bulbasaur. And Richie. But what else was there? What purpose did Kanto serve to the anime? Honestly, nothing really. Sure, it's just all comedic, and basically Kanto's just a definition of filler in the Pokemon anime. And if you guys don't know, if you guys know the massive gap between the 6th and 7th gym, that was just horrifying to watch. Because all of it was just filler and gags. That's basically mainly the definition of Kanto. Oh yeah, another thing they got out of it was movie 1, Mewtwo Strikes Back. But what can I say about Kanto? Well, okay, Ash should have won some of those, like he won those gym battles out of pity, and we all agree that he should have caught Haunter earlier in the series, so that wraps about Kanto. So let's move on. Come on, are you kidding me? They had to be next to each other? Even the region itself is right next to it. So let's move on to Johto. Now, if you guys don't know, I really love the Johto games, mostly Heart Gold and Soul Silver. We're not talking about the games here, we're talking about the anime. And as a guy who did not enjoy the Johto anime, but also enjoyed it for the most part, at least Johto had some decent... Wait, let me take that back. Almost, or... No, let me change that. Basically had a few story arcs. And that was basically the Lugia arc and the Lake of Rage arc. And honestly, I have not seen the Lake of Rage arc. But the Lugia arc is the one I have seen, and it was not that interesting. Sure, it was nice to see Richie come back, but what else was there to serve? Now, my favorite arc out of the whole Johto region is basically the Mount Silver Conference arc, which is the Johto League. And honestly, one of the better arcs in Johto because Ash actually finished his rival story with Gary Oak, or Shigeru in Japanese. And yeah. But other than that, his team was pretty okay. Plus he had a shiny Noctowl. And no, Noctowl is not a Psychic type. Yeah. There you go, animated Ginger. So yeah, happy. Good. Now let's move on to one more better series. And that is, well, let me do it like this. Aloha everyone, welcome to the Sun and Moon anime. And yes, this is how you write a proper Pokemon series. Now I know people are going to ask me, why is this in the middle of the list? Why isn't it higher? Sure, Ash Ketchum may have won the Alola League and it's his greatest achievements. But sometimes I look back at it and mainly what hurts Alola for me was some of his filler and sometimes his storytelling. Now of course, I do love the Sun and Moon anime. Sometimes it's just, some stuff kind of hurts where it shouldn't even be hurting at. And honestly, I can see why some Pokemon fans were turned off, but others, they were actually okay with it. Not because the art style was amazing. And yeah, Also, great Kanto, wait, Gen 1 pandering throughout Gen 7. Sure, maybe the 20th anniversary for both the anime, the games, the TCG, and manga. At least they got something out of it. Plus, it was a nice way to change up the formula again. How many times did they change up the formula? Let's see. Gen 3, Gen 5, Gen 6. Yeah, I guess this is the fourth time they changed the formula. Well, instead of traveling, it's just mostly a school setting, and honestly, I didn't mind that at all. Seeing different Pokemon at Pokemon school, beating the different classmates, and having some... Wait, was I just about to say some rival battles between Ash and Kiawe? I'm gonna stop myself right there. Okay, so they only have a few, I think. But what was really boring about the battles at the Pokemon school if they just waited 70 plus episodes to actually have a battle outside the school sometimes? And they never actually had a battle. Well, we still got Gladion. Oh, wait. Lima never got his league battle with Ash. Well then, at least we had Kuzma and Faba. And yeah, that's basically it for Sun and Moon. Also, the teams are pretty great. From Pikachu to God Rowlet. Yes, Rowlet is God, like you saw from One Piece. Don't defy him. Also, we got Lycanroc, Dustmane, Bestago under Zacian, Incineroar, Best Smash Fighter under Ryu, Nagnadel, Ash's first capture of mythical or legendary, whatever the Ultra Beasts are considered, and Melmetal, Ash's first mythical Pokemon. Also Nebby, which he had in his care, and Rotom Dex, who was also in his care. Now, can I say this might be Ash Ketchum's overpowered team? Yes, but slightly no, because most of his team is basically weak against rock and ground types, and plus sometimes water, but I can see why. But there's also some great type coverage because you got Rowlet and Pikachu for that. And for some grass types and ice types, you got Incineroar. But yeah, I think it balanced out the team pretty well. And despite the type disadvantage, Ash has the most balanced team in this series, despite him not having a water type. He could have had a Golisopod or brought back Oshawott. I miss you, Oshawott. But yeah, now let's move on to the final three. And oh boy, let's start it off with Hoenn. Now, Hoenn, Gen 3 overall, is almost my favorite generations under Gen 5. Now, the games, Gen 3 is my favorite game series out of all time, plus the manga. But the anime, I say is probably my top 3. Now, the fact with Hoenn is just Ash is more mature, but also more competitive in some aspects, and he is impatient, which I kind of like that character aspect of him. Sometimes he got a tad bit annoying in the whole entire Hoenn saga, and up until, what was it, the Evergrande Conference? Yeah, the Evergrande No, it's not the Evergrande Conference. That was the Evergrande Festival. Whatever the conference was, but yeah. His team was actually pretty decent. Like Alola, it's not overpowered. But let's talk about it. We got the mighty Sceptile, who took down the Darkrai. Then we got Torkoal, who basically do anything in battles, but we still love him. We got Glalie. What did he do with it again? Oh, well, at least he had Glalie, his first ever ice type. Then we got Corphish, and Corphish, yeah, I think Corphish has some great battles within it. So, man, am I really forgetting Hoenn? I'm sorry, Hoenn, Gen 3 forever. Also, we got Swallow, who was famous for the Thunder Armor in the battle between Tate and Liza, and still the best Thunder Armor that we got in the anime. See, why can't we get more things like this anymore? Oh well. Well, should I wrap Hoenn up? So yeah, let's move on to the number 2 series, Unova. The fact that it breaks my heart I'm putting Unova at the number 2 spot. I'm sorry. But let's talk more about it. Now, Unova actually was the first series to change its formula, mainly for Team Rocket. And I know some people were not a fan of Ash being rebooted, but this is still the same kid that left Pallet Town 15... Well, let's go back. We're not counting the 25 or 20th anniversary. Oh, no. We're talking about 14 years ago. Yeah, I'm bringing it to that time period. So that's the same kid, or let's just jump it now. That's the same kid that left Pallet Town on that day 25 years ago. And he is the main reason why that really changed fans throughout the series. Also, him losing to level 5 Snivy. Where did it clarify that he lost to it? I'm going to need some evidence or where Pikachu actually fainted, because they never said he faded. So, yeah. Ash just forfeited the match. That's basically it. Let's move on. Now, as the new companions, Silent and Iris, I actually had more fun to them rather than Brock and Misty. I am so sorry, Brock, you had to be done like this. But Silent was more of a funny guy, and Iris was just really a cool person. Even if she called Ash a little kid, which is better than hearing Clement saying, "The future is now, thanks to science." Yeah, I gotta get tired of that, hearing him say that every single episode. And also his sister copying Brock. Wait, didn't we just get done with Carlos not too long ago? Wait, it's just Unova. Hold up. But let's talk about Ash's team. Now, I get it. This team is not the strongest. I can acknowledge that. But what I can't say, they got a great personality. From Oshawa being funny, which should evolve to Duwat. From Snivy being a sassy type, and also it should evolve to Servine. From Big Knight being the third fire type. In the series, had the same story as Chimchar and Charmander. And it was still a cool Pokemon to look at. Bulldor, having one of his best battles against Clay. Then we got Leavanny, one of Ash's best bug types since Butterfree. We missed you, Butterfree. Then we got Emperor Palpitoad. Yes, Palpitoad. No matter how many or what people say about him, Palpitoad is the Emperor. We got Unpheasant, and man, Unpheasant is cool. If you guys are telling me that Unpheasant is trash, then leave this video. But seriously, Unpheasant is cool. Okay? Good. Crocodile. How should I put it like this? Crocodile was also a cool Pokemon. Very unique, and he had shades, so I think that's basically it. Oh yeah, Scraggy. Axie's little brother. But I think that mainly wraps up Ash's Unova team. If I'm forgetting one, please let me know in the comment section below. It's really been a while since I last watched Unova, and yeah. Also, the many rivals that we had in the series and the different tournaments was also amazing. But enough about that. We'll get to them in the retrospective videos. Let's talk about Team Rocket. And man, was Team Rocket amazing. I mean, seriously, they were actually pretty taken seriously. And I'd like to see more of that in future series, because after Black and White, they just went back to their original selves. They just got boring again. Until Sun and Moon, they were actually pretty nice. Sun and Moon was their better iteration since Black and White. But we'll talk about them, like I said, in a retrospective video. And so yeah, I think that basically wraps up Black and White. So let's move on to the best Pokemon series of all time. And that belongs to Diamond and Pearl. And I get it. It's still the best series till this day. And I know the only reason why it's being carried was because of Ash Ketchum's team, Ash and Paul's story, and wait for it, the horrible filler. Yeah, I get it. There is a whole bunch of filler in Diamond and Pearl at the beginning, and a 1 year gap. I believe it's a 1 year gap between 7th and 8th gym. And man, why did they make this decision? But we're not going to talk about that. Honestly, I think Diamond and Pearl has done a better job of being the Pokemon series. That is, it could be the definition of what a Pokemon series should be. Now, I get it. It's really repetitive with the same story. You meet the character today, Team Rocket comes in, Ash and friends take out Team Rocket and everything's all good. But that's just the basic definition, and I say not all Pokemon series is just like that. But what I'm trying to say is that Diamond and Pearl has done something that has gone deeper in the lore in the world of Pokemon. And what is that? Well, other than Black and White, what is the real Pokemon world? What are the real myths and legends? That's something that Diamond and Pearl has really got on to me when I played through Platinum, read the manga, and watched the Diamond and Pearl anime. Also telling the story about Ash and Paul and the Chimchar that soon evolved into a Fernape in the final battle. And yeah, I think that basically... Oh wait, did I forget someone? Oh yeah, Team Galactic. And man, was Team Galactic pretty cool. Now I get it, some of their appearances was, well, better than Team Magma and Team Aqua, but we still were a threat. And finding out Cyrus was being evil, and I think that should be really obvious, was actually pretty cool at the same way at the end. Now I get it that the climax was just... It was too predictable. If you guys played the game, Diamond and Pearl, not Platinum, then you know Cyrus went into the distortion world where he created his own world. And if you guys didn't watch the Diamond and Pearl anime, sorry for the spoilers. But I think that basically sums up Diamond and Pearl for the most part. Now, as for the league tournament, I consider it to be the better leagues. Now, I get it. There wasn't that many rivals for Ash. So they just gave Nando, Conway, Paul, and Barry. Honestly, that's pretty decent, but I don't think it's that great how it handles rivals like Unova. Because I got too more attached with Unova, I think the Unova rivals, my all-time favorite rivals, but we're not talking about Unova. This is Sinnoh. Now, after Ash's team, oh boy, I think we're done talking about Pikachu. Let's talk about Staraptor, the second best bird under Swallow. And yeah, I think Staraptor is Ash's core ace bird Pokemon as a flying type. Now for his battle styles was amazing. And honestly, it was actually a great flying type to look through the series, as it's seen, like I said, has amazing battle style. But it couldn't just work out with the 3D or HD camera at the time. And I think it was better that way since they gave most of it to Darkrai. But I think that's basically for our Staraptor. As for Torterra. My god. You were a fast Turtwig. To evolve into Grotto, you just started to slow down, and then as a Torterra, you sucked. Like seriously, man. Who hurt you, Torterra? Well, I think that sums up Torterra. So let's move over to Weasel. And I know Apom was traded away, all to Ambipom, and left off for Ping Pong. We don't talk about that in Pokemon anime anymore. But as for Weasel, it was actually amazing battle style. And his battle against Millions Lucario was pretty amazing. Now, I would say it could possibly be the better animated series or animated battles in the series, but it's not the best. I'm talking about Diamond and Pearl. Now, let's move over to Infernape. Now, as I stated in my last video, why Infernape is my favorite Pokemon, I like to go deeper into it. As the story kicks off, we meet Paul for the first time in the anime, and that is episode 2, or episode 1. It was 1 and 2, but in episode 3 is where they had their battle. And yeah, if you guys seen the anime, like I said, Ash and Paul have consistent battles, but mainly Ash loses. But in episode 50 is where Paul really snaps. He releases Chimchar. Then in episode 51, Ash takes Chimchar in his own hands. And I believe it's in the middle of Galactic battles, or the early parts. Yeah, it was in the middle. It's where they had their late acuity, or was it late acuity? Yeah, a late acuity battle. It's one of those two. Yeah, late acuity battle. It's where Chimchar evolved to Monferno, and soon, in Sinnoh League Victors, in the episode playing Fire with Ire, that's where Monferno evolves into Infernape. And when it came down to the 8th gym battle in the 8th Wonders of Sinnoh, it's where Infernape went Super Saiyan 3 to fully master Blaze. And then when it came time for them again in the Sinnoh League in the quarterfinals, is where Ash vs. Paul comes in, and still to this day, under Ash vs. Kukui, his real dad, is where Ash vs. Paul, one of the greater battles of the series of all time, which ended in a pretty great way. That's what makes Diamond and Pearl amazing. Now let's move on to the next Pokemon, Gliscor. Now, what I really remember from Gliscor, being a Gligar, it cannot really control how it glides. But as soon as it evolved into Gliscor, it's gotten better, but it still couldn't glide that well. Until, I think it was very late in Diamond and Pearl, either at the end of Galactic Battles or instantly victors, it went to the Air Battle Master to learn or properly stay in the air a bit longer. That's basically it. Okay, let's move on to Gible, and the only thing Gible got out of it was Draco Meteor. Now, I'm not saying that all the Pokemon series are bad or good in their own way. I'm just saying Diamond and Pearl was just a definitive edition of what a Pokemon series should be. Fun Pokemon with many diversity. Has some great and horrible fillers, and overall an enjoyable story. Now, I get it, some parts, mostly at the beginning of Season 2, could feel a bit empty, but I think I'm okay with that, as Diamond and Pearl has proven, like I said, time and time again, be the definitive story or the definitive series. So, like I said, the overall is Diamond and Pearl, which I consider to be the best series. Now, I know this might come up soon, but some series I like to go into retrospective, but I might need a little bit of help with that. But more on that later. That's all for today's video, and I'd like to know what you guys think, or I want to hear your guys' personal rankings. What is your worst to best? Let me know in the comments below. Also, join the Antipode Connection Hub Discord server on my main server. Because I might announce some tournaments soon. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and share, as we are trying to reach our goal to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and probably 200 if we can make it that far. And yeah, that's basically it. My name is Active Pokemaster, and thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.